Every year in Tasmania, Human Rights Week is celebrated with a number of events and awards for inspiring local service to the world of human rights and human rights awareness raising. The week culminates in a march through the heart of Hobart on the 10th of December. This is by way of paying tribute to another 10th of December, the day in 1948 when the United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR. Translated into over 360 languages, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights sets out those rights and freedoms that many of us take for granted. Poignant and interesting for this year's march is the fact that Tasmania is currently calling for submissions from the public to help codify and formulate its own Bill of Rights. This fact would become clearer later in the march, when many speeches were given as we gathered at our destination, the grounds at the front of the Tasmanian Parliament. It was a day which we at Amnesty Hobart look forward to on a yearly basis. A day to raise public awareness and knowledge of why human rights matter, as well as a day to talk and get to know people from other human rights organisations and concerns ahead of marching throughout the city. The march began with us gathering at what is commonly known as the ABC Fountain, a fountain embedded in a street roundabout beside the ABC broadcasting studios at the far end of the edge of the city. Pretty soon, with the aid of a helpful police presence, the signal was given, and the march began, heading down Liverpool Street and into the heart of Hobart. Assembling on the grounds of Parliament House, the gathering soon heard from various speakers, including our own Tara, who introduced the proceedings and also touched on the Bill of Rights set to be on the way for Tasmania.
Hi everyone, my name's Tara. I've been an intern at Amnesty since October. I'm relatively new to human rights, so I'm really pleased to be here today. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, yet today in Tasmania we are struggling to have some of these rights met. We wanted the right to express our opinion, so we've gathered here today in a peaceful assembly. But we also want the right to have our basic needs met, and I ask you to consider these statistics when thinking about the right to an adequate standard of living. 120 people will sleep rough in Hobart in any one night. 19% of people don't have access to food within walking distance from their homes, and 15% of people don't have access to public transport. We have a right to live in a world where everyone's rights and freedoms are respected. Thankfully, we're being provided with a way to have our say on how we want our rights protected. A draft of the Human Rights Charter was released for Tasmania in October, and the Department of Justice has been holding community consultations and asking for feedback.
Welcome to everybody. It is no, you're right. It is great to be involved in this today, and I've been involved in the past, and I just want to say how appreciative that I am of those that are involved in the Living in Between, the Diversity Education Through Storytelling project. It's getting the message out there and helping people to understand the feelings of others in this space. But can I firstly also acknowledge the Muhununa people, the traditional owners of the land, and their continuing association with the land, and indeed acknowledge the elders and those that who may be here today who are associated with the Muhununa people.
The Living in Between presentation is a powerful spoken word characterisation of the stories of various young refugees and their experiences along the road to settling in Australia. It is part of the work of the Hobart Campus Students Against Racism, which is a gathering of students from the Tasmanian Academy and the Tasmanian Polytechnic. It has been performed at school assemblies, teacher workshops, and at university, and is a very moving and inspiring means for these young students to explain why they left their homelands, the journey that brought them to Australia, and their lives now. Here is the presentation given by one of the students, who spoke as part of Living in Between.
Hi everyone, my name is Jim, born in Sudan. This is what I remember about my homeland. Mother, father, brother, sisters, playing outside, and then change. Soldiers, gun, fear, blood, running. Everything changed. My mother knew it wouldn't be the same, so we left. We walked and walked, and we came to Kakuma. It is a youth refugee in Kenya. I grew up there, I made friends, I got on with my life, but it wasn't the same. Wow, you know this day was such an amazing day for me. My mother came here before me, so I got to see her again. I saw Hobart and I couldn't believe it. The building, the houses, the bridge. It looked different to Africa. The street was really empty, like there was no community. But now I know it's just different. You know, living in between is hard. I'm African and I'm part of Australia too. But some days I feel like there is racist. People look at me and have many ideas about who I am. But I find that when I talk to them and sing to them, I change their mind. I have this song that I wrote. It's called Coal Industry. Talk about living in between, not knowing how things work or how to be a part of. But I have learned that the more you learn, the more you connect with people, the warmer you become. I'm studying, I write my own music, I'm working, I'm doing my thing. I want to make my music and build understanding between different people. I think this sort of thing is important, telling people about our life and how we want to be a part of this place. Life is a journey, it keeps going ups and downs. And me too, I'll never give up. Thank you.
You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last. But whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. He understands your orphan with his gun, crying like a fire in the sun. Look out, the saints are coming through, and it's all over now.